Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is here. Welcome back, everyone, for more SPTV, where every day's a great day not to be in a cult. Stream. What? Is it playing again? Are you guys hearing that again? Oh, I'm hearing myself. Hold on. Oh my God, I was hearing myself in my ear. What a disaster already. Okay, guys, StreamYard thought I was still in California and it scheduled this stream to start 3 hours from now. So I changed it at the last minute. Apologies if it's wreaking havoc with the notifications. But anyway, what we're going to talk about today is Chicago and the streamers shutting down Scientology in Chicago, because that really is what is going to happen at each one of these organizations where streamers are regularly going out there and live stream protesting outside of the organizations. So I have with me to talk about what is going on in Chicago, Trashy V12 BMW. How's it going, Trash?
Good. How's it going with you?
Okay, so is that really what people are calling you right now?
Yeah, pretty much everybody just calls me Trashy or Trash.
Okay, Trashy feels better, but not much better. But this gets to something we were talking about off screen beforehand. So as of right now, Scientology still does not know who you are?
I don't think so. I haven't seen any signs yet. And
you've been out there every day for about a month now?
Every week for about a month, yeah, just over a month.
Okay. Now, an organization like Chicago doesn't have all the big fancy high zoom, high res cameras that the organizations on L. Ron Hubbard Way and the Celebrity Center and here in Clearwater, Florida have. So they probably can't track you all the way back, to your car or whatever. Or do you even take precautions? Like, do you not drive your car into the org? Do you take like the subway or the bus or something?
Yeah, so I have taken the train, the L train multiple times now. I'm kind of 50-50 on whether to continue taking my car or not, just for privacy reasons. But yeah, like I do take the train sometimes. Probably a better way.
All right, so before I forget, let me show everyone your channel here. This is why you're called Trashy V12 BMW, because that is the name of your channel. Is there a story behind that name?
I'm really into BMWs. I really got into V12 BMWs a couple years ago, and I bought this 2004 760 Li with a V12 in it. It was going to be like a project that I was going to fix up. Had this really rare body kit on it and stuff like that. Ended up crashing the car, and insurance paid me out, so just ended up getting another.
All right, good. That's a story. Let's see. I wanted to remind everyone that yesterday, I'm going to show Shannon's channel real quick. Yesterday, I had a chat on my channel with Chicago Scientology Audit Shannon. It was in that chat that she told me you were the first one of the streamers to go out there. And I believe Shannon was the second. And then the third is Windy City Thetan Watch. So for anyone looking for more live stream channels to watch, you have 3 new ones you can subscribe to right there. Now, as I was going through some of your videos earlier today, there was this fascinating one. I'm going to turn the volume off on it right now just so I can hit play while we're talking, where it looks like you actually found a Nation of Islam dude.
Yep.
And I guess, I'm just looking at him. I listened to him for a couple minutes. Did he confirm with you that he is a member of the Nation of Islam?
So he never came out and said that he's a member of the Nation of Islam. Me and Shannon actually discovered that doing research after we had this interview with him. But there are several photos of him online in groups of Nation of Islam people, also with Scientology members as well, selling Dianetics books and stuff like that. So yeah, he's definitely
so
involved.
You were able to verify it?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then I also saw this clip of Scientology calling the cops on you. And I just really want to play this clip so that we can talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So here we go.
60-139-56. Male whites wearing all black clothing. Needs to be removed. It's bothering people. That's the nature of the call.
Needs to be removed. Well, I've never stepped foot in their building or on their property, so. And they called on me yesterday, and they were told that I can be out here.
How are you?
I'm fine. Okay. So it's fine. I know he can film, and that's okay. He can be on the public sidewalk. My problem is him harassing our parishioners as they come in.
Okay.
His communication is very derogatory about our church.
Okay.
And that's my problem. It's like a little bit like, harassing. They're not wanting to engage. And he just follows them and
Okay, so this goes on for a few minutes. She identified herself to you. I forget the name you gave me. Was it Brigitte?
She identified herself to the police as Brianna.
Brianna.
Yep.
Guys in the live chat, I'm dying to know who this Scientology staff member is and whether she's an HCO or whether she's an OSA or what her post is there. She kind of, I'll turn the volume off on this. This goes on for 4 or 5 minutes. Was this the first time? No, I think you even said to the cops, this wasn't the first time they called the cops on you.
Yeah, this is the second time they called the cops on me. And technically it's kind of like the third or fourth time because they did call the cops on me 2 times in one night the first time. So.
Okay, so what happened the first time they called the cops on you?
The first time they called the cops, I was filming in one of their windows or through one of their windows into what people were telling me was the Purif room. There were some people on treadmills in there. Looked like they were working out. Looked like a lot of sweating was going on in that room. I was filming in there. She came out and told me that I'm not allowed to film in there, that it's a religious practice and I'm not allowed to film it because of that. I told her that I'm in public. I'm well within my rights. She said she was going to call the cops. I told her it'd be a waste of time. She ended up doing it. And then they showed up. They talked to her or somebody inside of there for several hours. At least 2 hours. And they ended up coming out telling me I'm all good. They did try to get my information to file a restraining order against me during that interaction, but I don't see any way that they would have been able to file a restraining order against me, considering I hadn't committed any crimes or I hadn't done anything against them in any way.
Okay, and so then the police tried to get you to identify yourself, but you didn't because you weren't suspected of committing any crime. So the police don't know who you are either.
Nope.
Really interesting. Yeah, this restraining order thing is part of their playbook right now. So they got one of the guys in LA, one of the public. It seems like he's not a Scientologist, but he's working with Scientology. The guy's name is Joey. They got Joey to file a temporary restraining order, request a temporary restraining order against William Good Streets, LA. And that was temporarily granted, but the hearing on that is like March 5th, and it has almost a 0% chance of being upheld. So they'll get that thrown out. But then the owner of of La Poubelle, Francois Coster, also just on the 23rd requested a restraining order against William and against DOA. And her request for a temporary restraining order was thrown out, but there's going to be a hearing on that in March as well. Again, has almost a 0% chance of being upheld. Yeah. But did they say what the grounds were for wanting to get the restraining order against you when you're just on a public sidewalk?
They didn't give me any legal grounds to file a restraining order against me. They just said that they wanted to file one and they would like my information.
Kudos to the cops for not trying to make you give it. A lot of people don't know that they don't have to give their info, but some cops will try to make you think that you will be arrested if you don't identify yourself. Did they try that with you?
No. The only, I would say, honestly, all of the interactions I've had with the Chicago police so far have been pretty positive, very nice interactions. The only kind of iffy interaction I've had so far was with Sergeant Soto. He makes an appearance in that first police interaction I had, and he tried to quote me a law stating that you could not film through people's residential windows, seeing what's inside their residence. I ended up going through that statute, the entire statute, and the particular section that he was quoting had to do with being specifically inside of the residence, which I was not. So I'm not sure if he was just confused on that or if he was truly trying to twist the law to get me to stop doing that. But either way, it was over recording into somebody's residence, and I don't even really care about recording the upstairs windows or the residence, so I don't really have a problem with it.
So there's people living. Is this what Shannon told me yesterday? Is
Yep.
there's a bunch of Russian people living above the org?
So I don't know where she learned that Russian people are living there, but I do know that there are definitely some people living there. There's a residential access door from the sidewalk, and it seems like from what you can see through that window, there is kind of like a living setup in that one area. Although in the front of the building, there's also an above store space, which could be residential as well, but it really doesn't look residential through the windows whatsoever.
Wow. Have you guys been able to verify if the people living there are Scientologists?
Not completely verify. I mean, the Scientologists go in and out of that residential doorway, so based on that, it's pretty easy to assume, but nothing to completely verify it yet, no.
Okay. And so this location that the videos that we just watched of yours, that's a location they're about to move out of to move into their brand new renovated building, right?
Yes, yes. So they're setting up their new building right now on Clark Street, and they should be moving out of that building and into the new building on Clark Street within the next few weeks.
How far away is the new building?
It's about 20 minutes by car. It's probably like 8 or 9 miles.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Which one of the buildings is closer to downtown?
The new org is central to downtown. It's very much in the heart of the city.
Oh, so this location that they've been occupying is not. I didn't know.
No, it's very north of the city. It's in Lincoln Park. So yeah, a fair ways away from the heart of the city. Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen, just in the time that you've been out there in front of the org, have they been doing any of the sidewalk recruitment of the personality tests, the book selling, the e-meter stress tests, anything like that?
I haven't seen them doing any selling. The most I've seen on that kind of front is they did have a desk set up in the entranceway of their building, and they had a sign on it that said, like, "We're recruiting, Chicago is getting done." So I assumed that they were trying to recruit people just based on walk-ins.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just from the time that you spent out there, do you have any kind of a feel for how many staff members actually work at this location?
Like I think I'm getting a feel for how many staff members work at this location, but honestly, I have no solid idea yet. There seems to be like 1 or 2 more I see every time that look like potential staff members. I know I've identified that Brianna lady. There's an older middle-aged gentleman who wears glasses there. I think maybe her husband. He's definitely a staff member. I've identified 2 female staff members who are younger women. They help walk the older Scientologists away from me or away from the org. And then I've identified an old lady, and there's 2 younger kids that work there as well.
Okay. Because, depending on when you guys get there and how long you stay, like if someone were to be outside the org before it even opened in the morning, and, production usually starts at 9 a.m. Maybe there's a morning staff muster at like 8:30, but it would be possible for you guys to literally document every single person who walks into that building and whether they're a staff or a public. And it would be interesting to see how that number changes on a weekday to a weekend day.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've been out there on weekends and weekdays, and it definitely seems like the weekends have a little more activity going on, especially with staff members. But yeah, it would be interesting to see what the actual difference is. Yeah.
And also, like, for a lunchtime or dinner time, for example, in a location like the one you guys are outside of, there's no cafeteria there. There's no canteen. There's no cafe. Everyone who's in that building, particularly the public, who have to go eat lunch, have to leave the building. So
Yep.
you would see everyone come out and go back in. And it's really probably not going to be ever more than like 10 or 15 people, no matter when you're there, is my guess.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I've definitely not seen more than 10 or 15 people go in or out of that place on a single day. So yeah, no doubt.
Have you actually seen how big the new location is?
Yeah, me, Shannon, and Windy City Thetan Watch were all out there this weekend, or sorry, last weekend. And yeah, we walked around the whole building. They have an alley in the back. We walked through there. It's a big building. It's got, I think, like 7 or 8 floors. It looks like there's residential space up in the top, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, it's a big building. There's no way they have enough staff to fill all those floors.
Not even close.
Yeah.
All right. So what is it that got you to start going out there and doing this in the first place about a month ago?
I mean, that's a really good question. Like there's honestly a ton of things that kind of just collided together, like all at the right time, I would say. I think the thing that originally got me on this whole path was First Amendment audits. I think that's kind of where I got into this. And through watching First Amendment audits, the Scientology audits showed up, kind of got interested in those, got really invested in William Good's mission out there, started learning more channels, Chris Without a Hellcat, you, Laura, Serge, all those people. So I was watching them for a while, just kind of sitting on my couch. And I was always thinking, like, I wonder if anybody's in Chicago doing this. And I looked it up one day and I couldn't find any recent videos on it. I think the most recent video I could find was about 5 years ago. So after that, I kind of thought, like, maybe I'll go out there on a weekend or something. I just had a random week. I had nothing to do. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go out there and see what I can see, film what I film. And so, yeah, I just packed my stuff up and went out there one day.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you did it. I'm glad the channel's working out. I want to show everyone one more time. You can find Trashy's channel at Trashy V12 BMW. You can't miss it. So look, anytime that you have a video or a live stream that has a particularly interesting segment, if the cops get called, if you have a particularly interesting conversation with a staff member or a public, and you want me to do a highlight of it, like to promote your channel, shoot me the link, shoot me the timestamp. I'm more than happy to do it anytime.
Awesome. Will do.
And hopefully you and Shannon and Windy can all do that, and I can help direct some more eyeballs to your channels.
Yeah, I mean, I would just love to have your commentary on some of this stuff too. I mean, like, I'm just getting into this, so I don't really know everything that's involved in Scientology, all of the bad stuff that goes on completely. So, I mean, having your input on this stuff means a lot.
Awesome. Well, I'll be happy to do that. I can do reaction videos. Yeah, but that's an example of something I would react to. Any like particularly interesting segments, or even if you just like, hey, you got to look at the stream today, somewhere around 10 minutes, something crazy happened.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to do commentary on it. Okay, let's see here. Free Xenu project of Farsec, who's one of my moderators. Trashy V12 BMW. Check your email. I want to join you soon. Oh, out there in Chicago.
All right.
My email is mysterious enigma insider inside a riddle. Mysterious enigma inside a riddle. Well, there you go. Now you've told everyone.
I will check my email.
Okay, guys, just a short one this evening. I just got back from California. I'm absolutely exhausted, but I'm glad we were able to get this done. Thank you for joining me, Trashy, and let's do more of this in the future, okay?
Totally. Thank you very much for having me on.
My pleasure. Awesome, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you, as always, to everyone who watches until the very end, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click